diamond milk, yeah. I'ma keep the on welfare. The pink stone real, bling bling blow, yeah. Bling bling, mama got style, yeah. Chanel reptile player, hey. On Mars, gotta get it great.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Now Mack. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Here's Mack. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. The tackle that time by William Hayes.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
To throw is Wilson, and that'll be incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and that'll make it third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Here we go on fourth with Wilson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. They'll run with Mack. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here's Wilson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Right, 380. Gotta go. Saturday. Zebra. Let's go, 14.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive.
Go, go, go! Hey, sound one.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Brown not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
180.
Foles. Setting up the screen for West. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's pressure, gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Samson Ebukam coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And Allen's got it. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Wilson, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now Wilson on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he slides to avoid the hit. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Gun. Cut.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Zebra. Let's go, 14. Jack. 12.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double teamed and sometimes triple teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Shotgun.
On 1st down, Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Wilson eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, complete. It's Allen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Here's Wilson on 1st and 10. Being chased out left. Allen has it left side. Give him 30 yards there.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
19. Hey, 4 down.
On 1st down, Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Here's Wilson to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Dolphins have got it.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Now Foles. Over the middle here to Brown. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Here's Foles. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They're going to look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. William Hayes in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. On second down, here's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Throwing is Wilson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Julio Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So we have come to... You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This is West, able to push his way through. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Back to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 39-yard line. From the gun, Wilson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Preston Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and forever.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Here's Wilson. And Robinson with a big catch. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And out come the Dolphins now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Foles, he's going deep he's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They'll run it with West. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Dez Bryant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Dancing to his left. Airing. It got his man. Complete. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for Cleveland. 42 yards. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. Letting one go deep for the end. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They start on the ground with West. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll run again here with West. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 3rd down, that's West, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. They'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Setting up the screen for West. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
14.
On 3rd down, Wilson forced out to his left. Airing one out for Crowder, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th. But they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
They'll look to throw here. He's got it to West on the dump-off. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
He'll look to throw, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Now Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Here's Wilson to throw. Buying time to his left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches, as a general rule, that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep of protest out of them. That's just who they are.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now Foles. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down, and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. On 1st down, they go option to the right. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. West wiggles free. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. Dez Bryant, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
This is similar to baseball where you want the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column, down right around the 25. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. They run with a power back, Rawls. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo!
Oh, Wilson going to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Rawls. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Thomas Rawls, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Here's Foles. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He hits West underneath. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And it's caught. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Travis Kelce, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game, they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the the toe to the leather on that one. Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. First down, this is Rawls. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Easy.
They go again with Rawls. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was...
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the posts. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs.
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
Did the same. It smelled terrible. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to let it fly. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Here we go.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now a desperation throw deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Money back. Money back.